Is the Mikey P channel, and here we go. We're going to do the young ones. This is the second series, episode 4. It's called Time, and I'm doing this one because I quite like this one. It's one I remember from my kidhood. And I always enjoyed this episode of the young ones. So if you want to get your DVDs, whatever, your stream, whatever, we'll start right at the 0. And this is the young ones, series 2, episode 4, Time. And we'll press play in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they're going to do us a bad spelling for Aaron spelling, of course. Fred Snatchby Jr., Miss Nina Kell, dear. Yes, was that Telly Savalas there, alright, Alexi Sale. But this is them doing there, because Dallas was a big programme in the 80s. This is the young ones doing their the Grey Lake Grant Fairfax. He looks like they do something to the film, E.T. Nigel, well, naughty, the 80s dummy. Don't know any of these actresses, but there you go. There's a bit of a Kenny Everett joke, a British comedian. Oh, there's Alexi Sale. There's Joan Collins, on my word. Snuggles. E.T. Oil. There's Rick Mail doing his American accent, and we lost Rick Mail a few years ago, but he's very good. But they still maintain the essence of their characters, don't they? Got this Mimo. They're going to let him in to see E.T. So he's very left-wing, isn't it? And as the world's going more left-wing as we speak at the moment. Yes, this is 2019, November time. So he's trying to do a sort of American... He can't even count. So he's still carrying the character of Rick in his head. Rick, with a silent P. But Rick Mail, lost him a few years ago. Great actor. Great comedian. Well, no, not really. I've watched the Bottom live shows and they're not so... They're okay. But apparently this is the young ones. They did 2 series of this, obviously in the early 80s. His hair's come out of his bowler hat. Oh dear. Once in every lifetime comes along like this. Oh, I need you. Yes. This episode, when did it first air? What should we say? 1980. This can't be 82. I'm sure this is a bit later because I was about 9, I think, when I saw this. Yeah. Cool. 5th of June 1984. That's right. I was 9. Yeah. There you go. Brilliant. I am cyclic. They give this 35 minutes. This let it run a bit longer than usual. And this was a dream sequence from the 80s, 70s soap opera Dallas. I think this episode was the budget for this was fairly cheap. I think this is on about $5,000 an episode back then. And there's Adrian Edmondson doing. He's just done a recent stint. Oh, he's in bed with a lady. He's in the bed with Adrian Edmondson's actual wife, Jennifer Saunders, famous for Ab Fab, playing a sort of psychotic killer here. Bit of a spoiler for you, but never mind. But I think at the time in the 80s, Jennifer Saunders was famous for... She did this rubbish sitcom called Girls on Top with Dawn French and Tracy Ullman, who's been quite famous in America for some time. She's most famous for being the witch in Robin of... Prince of Thieves, 1990, Kevin Costner. Oh no, what an idiot. She was in the piss take, the Mel Brooks, Men in Tights. The only Robin Hood who has an English accent. Carrie Elwes, who's a Canadian, never mind. Anyway, so he scored, Rick scored. Apparently this was a character based on the character he used to play on the stage called Kevin Turvey or something. And this was a right-on character, you know, really left-wing sort of right-on, sort of Ben Elton-y type character. I mean, he's almost playing Ben Elton in this part, because if you ever watch Ben Elton, who's also responsible for writing some of Blackadder and socially aware crap, when everyone was socially aware back in the day, back in the 80s, that is. Yeah. And Mike, he's waiting for his Mike Christopher Ryan, who I lately saw playing a Sontaran in David Tennant Doctor Who, and he's been in 2 Doctor Who's. He was in a 1986 Doctor Who with Colin Baker, Trial of a Time Lord segment, the Terror of the Vervoids, and also in the Sontaran Stratagem, playing the leader of the Sontarans. So there you go. But Mike, he was also in One Foot in the Grave, playing 2 plumbers, and I think he played another character in One Foot in the Grave as well. So he played dual parts in that as twins, and also another character in a different episode earlier on. So used twice in that series, different characters. But in this one he plays the sort of patriarch, the person in charge, the sort of gangster in charge of the house, really. Because this is a student house, which is sort of, if you want to see it's Juiced, I think the modern version is it Juiced? I can't remember what it's called. Fresh Meat, sorry, with Jack Whitehall, but it's much more anarchic than that. That's a bit toned down, you know, and right on again. I think every time they do students, they've got to be all right on about it. But anyway, Christopher Ryan, he's done loads of stuff. Like I said, he's been in Doctor Who a couple of times. But Rick Mayall, he was in Jonathan Creek twice. Played it, and he was in his own series for a while. He was a good actor, Rick Mayall. He was in Blackadder a few times, of course, another Ben Elton thing. But I really do like Rick Mayall. I think he's one of the... He's a good actor. I mean, he had a quad bike accident like Ozzy Osbourne, I think, and injured himself. And I think they did some brain damage to him because he was quite close to Adrian Edmondson. But they got less close as the injury made him more sort of touchy-feely, I think. He was either out the meds, and that's what ended up damaging their friendship a little bit, because he really wasn't the same person. I don't know if Ozzy Osbourne's been the same person since he died in... not died, but you know what I mean. Your Time. It's the only episode that I haven't got a Wikipedia page on, so I can't tell you anything about it. I think the ratings on this were about 8.9 million on BBC Two at first aired, because BBC Two was the hip channel back in the day, back in the 80s, and he's got snot in his hair. See the greenness in Rick Mayall's hair there? And here's Nigel Planer, who's become very much a part of the establishment these days. He's a hippie in this, and I think he's sort of like that. He's also been in Jonathan Creek, playing a less memorable character. I can't remember what he was in. He was in some crap. It was Savants, because Jonathan Creek is split into good episodes in the first 3 or 4 series, and then it goes really crap with the specials and that, when Sheridan Smith comes into it. But here he is, he's having to lick the floor now, because he's a hippie. Look, there's a hi-fi in the background, a stereo system. They were big back in the 80s, like Ghetto Blasters. And there's Nick. Almost rigged it. He's got a girl. Oh yeah, because he's got Jennifer Saunders upstairs. See, I didn't, because Jennifer Saunders went on to do Ab Fab, which was based on a sketch they did in French and Saunders, but if I do an Ab Fab, we'll talk about that as well. Anyway, she's married to Adrian Edmondson, who's playing Vivian in this. He's also a very good actor as well. He was also in Jonathan Creek as a sort of long-standing character in season 4, I think, when Julia Sawalha was in it, Sawalha, whatever her name is. She was in it. And Julia Sawalha, oh, he's got the dynamite to sort his headache out. He's going to blast himself with dynamite. And the weird thing about this was, it sort of reminds me of like one of those early Saturday morning programmes I used to watch as a kid. Because then, like, they used to have Going Live, Number 73. They had these like weird connected... See, this is a connected bit as well with Alexei Sayle, who's now... They've all become really sort of establishment, these people. They were all anti-establishment in the 80s, and now they're all so much part of it, they might as well be the establishment. Well, I suppose you become what you dread, I don't know. But Alexei Sayle, I think he's got a Radio 2 programme. He's a very relaxed sort of guy these days. And this is all about. I mean, if you watch Bottom, that come after this, obviously, and that's the same sort of thing going on there. I think Christopher Ryan turned up in that as well. And they did a thing called Filthy Rich and Cat Flap as well, which is a sort of follow up, but they're different characters, but the same set of people. Here's Dawn French. So they had the French and Saunders comedy act in this episode. And this is before French and Saunders. I mean, Vicar of Dibley is Dawn French, was married to Lenny Henry. It's June the 12th, seeing the Easter Bunny. See, there's surreal humour here. Which they do is like the Mighty Boosh, I suppose they took a lot of this on, didn't they? Surrealism and stuff. Not that I like the Mighty Boosh, I just find that irrelevant and stupid. But you don't mind a bit of irrelevancy if there's a proper plot to base. I mean, this is a loose plot. But at least it's still the far sort of acting on a theatre thing, but at least they throw random elements into a basic plot. And the plot is here that they're all had a piss up. Rick's had his dream about being in Dallas and E.T. and now he's got a woman upstairs. Was she unconscious? That's what they're saying. But of course we now realise, we will realise later on, spoilers obviously, that she's a homicidal maniac and she's just come to kill everyone. She needed somebody to stay after her latest murder and got in bed with Rick, which was very dangerous obviously. Nigel Planer, he narrates the Discworld on audio CDs. I prefer, because Tony Robinson did it as well, and he was in Blackadder, and I prefer his abridged versions to Nigel Planer's sort of annoying, drony voice, really. I suppose like mine, but now I'm 60, aren't I? Of course. Subscribe, and I might put a photo up one day of this old man who narrates over these old comedies. But anyway, yes, Nigel Planer, he did a sort of, I don't know, he's been in the theatre mainly, I think. Adrian Ebson, he was in EastEnders, Jonathan Creek. I think he sort of went legit, or as legit as you can go, but then so did Rick Mail, really. He's going to be sick. So he's now lost his virginity, Rick, and he can't remember how, but he certainly thinks he has, and he's certainly going to tell them he has. But the young ones, of course, is based because they're all big Cliff Richard fans, and at the end they go over the literal cliff when they're they've got spare days. And Neil's sort of acting a little bit out of character because he's getting a bit seedy because he wants to know about the sexual act that Rick thinks he's done. No, they're even recording him. Look, there's an old... See, I'm recording this with the setup you'd use now, and that's an old tape recorder and bloody microphone setup that you'd have in the 80s. I think I used to record myself doing sort of DJ stuff back then because I wanted to sort of be a DJ. Never came to any fruition because I'm just lazy. Sorry, folks, but there you go. And here they are, husband and wife. He's just vomited as she walked in the room. Was that Freudian, do you think? Do you think there was some deep meaning there? That his wife walked in and she'd thrown up. She laughed as he tried to slip her the tongue, which is... and I know my dad doesn't like Jennifer Saunders because she's always sounded weird, like a dreary voice. And then my dad fab, it went on for too long, absolutely fabulous. The first 3 seasons are okay. I like the second season probably best of all. That's the most anarchic and dark, I suppose. But this is okay. They think they've got a guess. And in the 80s anyway, universities, they still do it now, but back then this was probably the beginning of it. They'd give you a grant, not a student loan, they'd give you a grant back in them days. And they'd all live together in a house and rent. And of course they give you some scummy shithole next to the university where all these people are going to end up being lawyers and scientists and all kinds of different things, and they'd all live together like this to keep the bills down. And but it's a bit dated even now because this is the 80s and Neil's a hippie and that's late 60s. Vivian's a sort of punk rocker, that's late 70s. Rick's probably the most modern character because he's a sort of 80s wishy-washy what everyone is now, you know, the socialist left-wing facilitator, lunatic type carer who doesn't care but pretends to care, you know, the fatuous see-through bullshit socially aware snowflake type He's probably the original snowflake, actually, Rick Mail. Snowflake being a term for people who get offended by anything. Well, it is now. I don't know what they'll be called in the future. They'll be called normal, because I suppose it'll become a normalcy, won't it, as we pass through time. Anyway, Adrian's looking at his wife. Vivian's looking at his wife's boobies. See, now he's got into bed, and yeah, she was in that. But anyway, the structuring of the young ones was that they'd have Alexei Sayle come in and do a bit of his stand-up, this weird stand-up halfway through or at some point, because he plays their landlord, Belovsky or something. And it was some relative of Belowski, and this lady saying he's done sex with her, which of course he's lying about. Yeah. The stud Get Down and Groove, 84, the same year as Into the Good. Look, he turned that rubber radio on by pushing it in the middle, which was to cue the man, like they did in 40 Towers, to cue the man with the sound to turn the sound on. So he turned it off properly, but turned it off by screeching because he needed the man to know that it turned on the sound mixing. So they'd play the music over the top. I've seen loads of versions of that in Carry On Abroad. The old vicar, if you watch it, from the 70s, he plugs his shaver in the wall, but has to turn it so the music goes on. He has to cue it in, whatever, to turn it on. And in 40 Towers, he's doing it because there's a deaf woman in communication problem episodes, and he's trying to pretend that there's no sound, so he turns it up really loud to blast her ears once she's turned it up. And they did that then. So the BBC joke through the 80s, 70s, 60s is going, see, they come back, these jokes to haunt us, don't they? See, he's a lying little virgin, because he's got snot in his hair. They're going to have, now here we go, this is basically bottom now. If you watch this later on, they're going to have a fight. Yeah, there we go. Whack. They're now going to have a violent attack on each other. Oh! And of course, Vivian and Rick are pretty much, he's going to put, and now he's literally in the cabinet. He probably will be in the cabinet come up the elections. So he pushed the radio on again properly that time. Oh, he's forked it. Joke from Wibnall and I a couple of years later, in the 60s, who they stole it. Of course, he's playing a sort of mod character, Mike. He's playing a sort of, I think mods were in the 60s, Quadrophenia riding around mopeds. And here we go, here's another surreal moment. I think that's Robbie Coltrane, it sounds like him. Oh, an 8-track player. My dad had a load of these. These are a remnant of the 70s. And they play on 4 channels. They've got a massive bit of tape inside it. And you can play 4 different channels of music. I don't know how it worked. Never opened one up, but they are a weird thing. And he's some kind of DJ inside the radio. See the surreal thought of putting a buccaneer and a pirate ship inside of a radio. And then some kind of wireless and record that isn't even, because he's Captain Hook with his hook on the radio, see you'd miss things. Oh, and the slave man, black guy, I think this guy went on to other stuff. I think he might have been in EastEnders and all. Looks like a rack of Atari games, the old Atari 2, look it up kids, Atari 2600. They used to put cartridges in the console to play a game. Behind Contrail in that rack, rewind later after you've listened to me, you can look it up, and they used to have cartridges in the games machine, pong, bouncing a ball. Oh, they are. He's a cyclops for some reason, because pirates only have one eye, which is really weird. And look at that set. You can see half the doors missing. I wonder if they're going to be breaking that in at some point. They've obviously used many parts of this set before, I'm guessing. Yeah, he's going, see, is that a joke about how I see racism? And there's the dead parrot from the Monty Python sketch from the early 70s. Won't be doing Monty Python, don't get their humour, I'm afraid, chaps. Don't mind some of their movies. I mean, my dad's favourite part of one of them is, I can't remember which one it is, Life of Brian, is it? When he's got the stuttering Michael Palin playing the sort of, who mispronounces a name character in the Roman bit, which he also sort of reprises for Fish Called Wanda, which is also a classic farce. I think John Cleese is obviously the master of farce, isn't he? Because, I mean, 40 Towers is basically a farce, and you'll find my commentary for that elsewhere on my page here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, love me. Make me millions so I can sit on my arse and watch comedy all day. Although that would probably even get boring after a while, wouldn't it, laddie? And now they're going to say, there's a murderer will be amongst you. The one who's murdering Mike. Helen Mucus is this girl's name. Oh, here they are, still fighting each other. A bit of titty torture. Yes. Oh no, she's got to kill him because she's gone psycho. And the radio's going to warn them because the radio is actually a member of their commune. Oh yeah, there they go, they managed to land. I'm surprised that didn't kill her because normally that was a real thing that would kill the murderer woman. I'm not a virgin! And of course Rick Mayall was in An American Werewolf in London. If you watch American Werewolf in London, John Landis went to a play in the West End and basically cast everyone from it. Oh no, she's going to kill Mike. Oh, bit of knicker there. If you want to see Jennifer Saunders' knickers, no thank you. She's wearing like one of those dresses they used to put the dough on the toilet roll. Oh. Yeah. Oh, and there goes, I'm your only hope. Bye. See, they're too busy fighting about not being a virgin. Oh, he's on a wire. Can you see the wire? Reminds me of the Tomb of the Cybermen, Doctor Who in the 60s where they put him on. But no, you can't see the wire. Yeah, it's because he's so smelly, he's close to it, he's blown the light bulb. Oh, bit more. I bet they all smelled if they're in a bloody college thing. They don't wash, do they, smelly bastards? As Alan Davies said, don't wash, you pobs, in his comedy from years ago. And of course Alan Davies played Jonathan Creek. Written, it's, who's this? Oh, it's Amazulu. It's about the only song on the young ones, because they do that, like I was saying about Saturday morning programmes. They'll throw a song into the middle of it, like an old Saturday mornings. They used to have bands on Saturday mornings, and they've thrown he's on a rope, and they've thrown a group into them. They did it to they did the Ace of Spades and Motorhead on this, but this is Amazulu. So much love, and I think their biggest song wasn't this. It's like a weird top of the pop segment because they're supposed to be being right on. More a bit like Culture Club here, really, but Amazulu, yeah, I think they had one hit. Sort of reggae type thing. Yeah, I think Arnold Rimmer was also in this from Red Dwarf. Much love, got so much love. Yes, they were a band from the 80s. I'm sure it's sort of reggae sort of thing, a ska, yeah. I'm trying to see what their song was because it wasn't this. Too Good to Be Forgotten, that's the one. Too Good to Be Forgotten, and what more can I say? That was their big hit. But this was okay as well. Yeah, they used to break the episode up, I suppose, and this episode's already overrunning to 35 minutes. Because the BBC is a non-commercial channel, you don't have to go to commercial every 10 minutes. You can have sort of whatever time you want, they can sort of throw it about a bit. But of course it's immortalised these songs. And Cliff Richard did do a song for comic relief with the young ones in the 80s. He did. Did he do? Live in Dull. He did Live in Dull with the young ones. Look that up on YouTube if you want to see how bad that was. Cliff's alright as a singer, a bit of a born-again preacher man, but so he's bored with the songs, but they're actually interacting. The band doesn't. I think they had Madness. I don't like Madness. They had them on here at some point as well, and bands I've never heard of. Now you shut the power, so they'll all have to bugger off. Yep, they're all off out. Bye bye, Amazulu. And now I think they're going to try. Oh yeah, they're going to put. Yeah. See, this is it. This is sort of Three Stooges, sort of Laurel and Hardy setup. Sort of social conscience, Laurel and Hardy stuff going on here, if you know what I mean. It's really weird. Surreal, but it's so good. In the 80s there was nothing else like this. There used to be a programme called Friday Night Live on in the 80s with Ben Elton doing his ranting. See if you can find that on YouTube. Look up Friday Night Live. It was an English thing on Channel 4 where Ben Elton would try and do stand-up, social consciousness stand-up. It was really, really shit. And that's where Harry Enfield got his start with Love, Bugger All Money and Loads of money. And he went very establishment later on, being in movies himself. And the first series of Men Behaving Badly. I will probably do a Men Behaving Badly at some point. Seeing as my upload schedule's all over the place because I'm a lazy commentator. But anyway, all these guys have had pretty successful careers. And here they go, they're going to fire old... I assume he's back on the wire again. Assuming this was painful. Here we go, yes, he's up and in. Now he's going to hoover up or something. Ugh, gross. And this is probably how younger people now and fucking, what do you call them, students live like now. I'm sure they do, don't they? They live like bums, baby, bums. Yeah. But, there we go, with a silent P. And one of the episodes of the young ones, they go to University Challenge, which was a big programme back in the 80s, 90s, by Bamber Gascoigne, playing Bambi. They even called it Bambi. Here he goes again. He's passed out a lot of times in this one, hasn't he, Neil? He's been out about 3 times, I think. Not that I'm counting. And actors put their hands in their pocket when they don't know what to do with their hands, apparently. Apparently it's a sign of a lazy actor. But I'm not calling Christopher Ryan that because, no, he's very good, isn't he? And yes, so here we go again. Time is an abstract concept. That's pretty modern thinking for 1984, I'm guessing. Socially aware. But I think she's definitely going to get squashed now. They're definitely going to... There we go. Yeah, oh, no, it's a stampede from... Look, she's turned into a rubber doll. I think he even laughed at his own joke there. He moved quick. There must have been a cut there. See the telly, the fake telly with the cardboard on it. This chappie was supposed to be some famous guy from some programme. But I think he was in a Doctor Who, I think. Can't remember which one it was, but didn't see him. He looks a bit like Paul McCartney, I suppose. Paul McCartney-esque, okay? I don't think they've done an official commentary for the young ones. So you've got me here to do it for you, haven't you? But yeah, another surreal. This is sort of like Monty Python, but more structured, because I didn't like the Monty Python stuff because it was really... So you give peace a chance, hippie man. Yeah, yeah, Monty Python. There are some influences here, but yes. And now he's going to... Oh, and again, there's the 4th time. Night. Yeah, night. Should have said that. Would have been a good joke. Oh, he's got a war. See, this is about war, this episode, isn't it? They've got an anti-aircraft gun now. And I'll have to ask my friend Gary about that, though, because he knows all about the boa. He missed. Oh, here they go. Oh, Paul, I think this is Paul Merton. And that looks like Hale and Pace. I showed my son Hale and Pace the other day. I didn't realise there'd been a Young Ones episode. They were comedians, risque comedians of the 80s, 90s. But Paul Merton, famous for I Got News For You. I love a I Got News For You. Very satirical guy. Witty man. And if you're not from England, look it up. Find it somewhere. Watch some of I Got News For You. It's a laugh, baby. They've had Boris Johnson on there, and now he's the Prime Minister. You can see what a twat he is and was. And will forever be. But this must be the earliest I've ever seen Paul Merton. Was married to Carry On Quentin, who was in Men Behaving Badly and Jonathan Creek. He's gone into the Poodle. There's a bit of filming now. See the change in the filming style. He's still going to go again. I think he's going to blast everyone now, this lot. They're going to, don't worry, that was just my crisp packet. Don't be racist. It's allowed. I'm allowed to have crisps. If you don't like it, you can kiss my butt. Yes. Oh, there's the heart machine going. I'm not dying, hopefully, anyway. Well, I suppose we all are, rhetorically speaking. Oh, they blew it up, so they must have built that for the episode. Bloody hell. I am a virgin. He's had his arse handed to him by Vivian. Vivian normally wins. In fact, Vivian lost his head in one of these episodes, the Bambi episode. I don't know why he's wearing a lock round his... Oh, piss off noise. We don't like the silly noises. That's the ad revs. Yeah, if you get me enough, if we get up to 50 million subscribers, I can be like PewDiePie and have £1 million for sitting around playing games. But anyway, yes, I think I've spoke about this episode as much as I can. They made this is BBC Centre, of course, when all sitcoms are made in-house. And I just wanted to add it to my mini episodes. I think the episode cost about $5,000 to make per episode. The actors were paid bugger all. I think they were paid about $500 each. I think they got residuals on this though, or repeat fees, because they'd always think the 80s when they started to work the contracts out. Because even in something like Only Fools and Horses, they got. I think David Jason in the 90s was only paid $60,000 for the last episode, so he must have repeats and all kinds, because the guy's still going now. Although he's probably still a workaholic or something, but you know what I mean. But that is a wig, because it does come off in one of the other episodes. It is indeed a wig. I think that Adrian Emerson, he's gonna hang him now. So how does that help anything by hanging Neil? We're not sure. Yes, it's a cool episode, but now the actual telly is. Did you see taking? Oh, is the Alexei Sayle stand-up bourgeois Russian? I don't know, communist, socialist, whatever you want to call it. Right-on sort of attitude of the 80s, which is dated horrifyingly now. Because he's dressed as a bin man with a clown's outfit on underneath, obviously. He also appeared in the Colin Baker Doctor Who, so they're doing the round robin on. It's Helen Lederer. I think she went a bit crazy. She was also in One Put in the Grave. Funny eyes. She's got those sort of Meg, what's her name? Meg, who was in They Live, the movie with Roddy Piper. She's got them eyes. Meg Foster, that's it. Helen Lederer. Oh, here comes Lee Corns, I think. He was in Kinder, Doctor Who, and in some Bottom episodes. He played... Did he play Harry the... No, not Harry the Bastard. He played the bookie or the pub landlord in one of the episodes of Bottom. With Robert Lennon, who's in Red Dwarf, plays Crichton. So look all these episodes up I'm referencing. But I think this is like foreshadowing Noel's house party of the 90s, I think. Ha! But these are all famous action. Lee Corns, he was in Kinder. He played the Fool in Doctor Who, Peter Davison episode. Don't like it myself. Peter Davison's my favourite Doctor Who, but I don't like that episode because it's out there, baby. But yeah, I think that this is just some kind of social because we're all still peasants and all that, which I suppose in a way we are, and that might even be the actual studio audience that watch the young ones there. I think they've done a sort of fourth wall thing here, which they would of course do, and now when you think this is surreal because Big Brother now they do this kind of torturing people for the sake of ratings, which is basically what we do nowadays. I mean, the Running Man film of the 80s, it's all a precursor to what they actually do now, I think, because people are committing suicide on like the Jeremy Kyle show, Love Island, all these characters in, as I speak, 2019 of these reality shows. They get the fame, they get a few quid, and then they lose everything. And as I speak, I think Katie Price Jordan, the famous sort of bimbo from England, she's just gone bankrupt. So, yes, all very nice. But Helen Lederer there, she was in a lot of stuff. I think she was in Bottom, another episode of Bottom. She was in One Foot in the Grave, so she's done the sitcoms. We should do a sitcoms of the 80s and see 90s and noughties, and that's where it ends for sitcoms, really, though. Dennis Waterman's Showbiz 11, yeah, because Dennis Waterman was a massive 70s star in The Sweeney and Minder. Oh look, Rick's got a nice party where the arrow went through him, and they will burn a virgin at the stake because, like the Wicker Man says, got to burn a virgin. See, I can't do movies. I need a co-commentator. So if anyone's interested in doing because I like to do half hours or just overs because I can manage to whitter on. See, it was written by Rick Mayall, Liza Mayer. I think Liza Mayer had an affair with Rick Mayall. Ben Elton, obviously, giving you the social crap. Gary Beadle, yes, I think he was in Doctor Who. Was Robbie Coltrane, but there's a general list of who's who of 80s surreal comedies and 90s stand-up comedians. Look them up on YouTube, pause it back in a bit. But as we come to the end of the episode, I hope you like my vague ramblings. Subscribe, give me a like. No abuse in the comments because I am fantastic. And let me know down in the comments. Ed Bye, he did a lot of Red Dwarf. He either produced or directed. But let me know down below what you want me to do a commentary on. Keep it to TV episodes. Oh, and again, he didn't know Paul Jackson. He did Red Dwarf. So there we go. Did you enjoy it, peeps? I hope you did. that was the episode of The Young Ones. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I will be with you again whenever I can be bothered. Here I go. Good evening. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.